Thank you so much for joining me here on LinkedIn Live. My name is Makita Waterman, and I will be doing a live stream today about that feeling that many of us, certain times in their lives where we feel unfulfilled or we have everything that we want, relationship, business, career, but we're not quite 100% happy, and maybe you're in a space in life where you're trying to figure it out. I'm going to have my coach here come through, Cecil McIntosh. So I'm just waiting for him to get on the line. And this conversation really came up just with conversations that I've had probably about a year and a half ago, and just conversations that I have with people throughout life, whether it's people that I actually know personally or not. And I'm really excited to have this discussion today. Let's take a look to see if he's on. Okay. Anybody on the line that's watching, if you're watching this from a source, maybe you are in my connections or following group or not, just press the follow button. If you know anybody that is very, very happy to get this for my coach to come on. Hopefully he'll be coming on shortly. Anyway, so I guess I can start off with conversation roughly about that unfulfilled feeling. I think that a lot of us, based on society, cultural reasons, a lot of us are kind of taught to aim for a degree, make a X amount of certain money, get married at a certain age, and then we get these things. And some of the issues that a lot of people have is they get them, but then there's this feeling that what else is there to do? Or maybe you get that executive job, or you get 2 children and that picket fence in a house, and you have an amazing spouse, great friends, you're traveling, but then you're kind of left wondering to yourself, what else can be done here? So I'll add Cecil to the live stream. So hopefully this will work. Hey, Cecil.
Hi, Makita.
How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm still misbehaving.
Great. So
Loud and clear.
Awesome. So I think there's a bit of a delay in my talking, but as long as you can hear me. So I just kind of started off with
just a second.
Okay.
Okay, that should be better now.
Okay, great. So the topic today, as I mentioned, it's that feeling that some people have where they have everything in life, but there's something missing internally. And quite often, as you're probably aware, Cecil, I used to, and in some ways I still do, I'm looking to go to an event, or I have to go on vacation, or I have to go to my favorite restaurant to get that feeling. But then after I leave the restaurant on a bad day, for example, or I'm done with my vacation, it's back to reality. So how do we keep that great, amazing feeling going?
Well, the biggest challenges. Are you getting an echo?
No.
Okay. The biggest challenge is that we gotta take a step back. We need to be able to listen. The challenge is that we're not listening. So before we answer your question, we gotta look at what do we have to do before? We have to listen. Let me give you an example. I went to the store to get my fax machine. I'm waiting for the guy to fix the fax machine. This young man says to me, I want to tell you a little bit about computer. So I brushed him off. Then all of a sudden I realized he was a messenger. So I went back to apologize and I said, listen, whatever you want to tell me, I'm going to open my phone. I'm going to put it down. And I'm going to type it in. He says, Cecil, computers are completely changed. And the specifications. So if and when you need a computer, this is what you have to ask for. So I took the information and left. 2 days later, my wife is paying the bills. And she says to me, this computer is taking too long to load. So here I am. I went back to the store. And when I went to the store, I gave them the information given to me. This is an example of listening. You save yourself a lot of hassle. This is what has to happen before. Let me give you another example. I had a client in Australia. And we had a court case. And we were sure that we were going to court case. And it took 2 days before the case came. But when it came up, things changed. And he was not in a situation where he had $130,000 bond in the court, but they were asking for $1 million. So listen carefully now. I forgot about him and the court case. Now I didn't have a cell phone. It was landline. He called me at that moment. Came out of the court. I was there. I answered the phone. I told him what the court and do a pretty great. He called me about 2 hours later and told me they took the $130,000 bond. It saved them $800,000. The point I'm making is he listened. He made the phone call. I was there. So what I'm saying is before we start, listen to what the universe, God telling us to do. Right? One more example. During COVID, I was out and I said to the gentleman, I'm tired sitting to stand. The gentleman got right up, picked up the phone. I said, go get standing. So the point I'm making is everything we need is given to us if we're aware of it. So that's where I want to start. Do you have a question now?
Well, I have a comment here from Cheryl. She said, as we age, career and also family are important, but feeling satisfied in oneself is important. So that's a very good point. So I guess the question would be, I think that in general in life, we have a lot of signs. We can see something on a billboard. Someone can stop us in the grocery store and say something. But I don't think a lot of people are in tune that that is a sign. So how do you know what's a sign? And how do you know it's just a stranger saying something nice to you or making a comment or asking a question?
Well, the first thing is you have to be in a position where you're saying, like one gentleman said to me, I have these clients over here, and I have these clients over here, and I'm a fake. I don't know what to do. In the middle. I don't want to offend this group. I don't want to offend that group. What do I do? The point I'm making is we all know we're fake. But we do not want to admit to it. So I said to him, why don't you do what you want to do? He said, I can do that. Right? So we have this issue. We are conditioning comfortable. It's a causing health issue. We're not prepared to do something about it.
Right.
That's the challenge. We know. Deep down, we know. Not telling anybody. But until you decide enough is enough, and you go and get help, and help is always there. But we are not interested.
Right. So how about people who are in relationships right now? Maybe they're married, they have a couple of children in, and they feel stuck. Maybe they went through the pandemic and maybe they're going through some rough patches, and their spouse and them have decided to stay together. But this person knows that this is not it, but they also feel locked in because they have children, finances wrapped together, and everything else like that. How can that person feel fulfilled without getting a divorce? Should they take accountability? What's the first step in that situation?
We got to take a step back. I'll bet you 99% of people that speak to knew that the relationship was not the relationship they wanted. For example, they met somebody who was a good dancer, right? They met somebody who they enjoyed going to the theater with, and they married that person. Because they, in the first place, they did not know what they want. So the problem with most of us, because of the pressures of society, we should get married. We should have a picket fence. Right? Because of that, we make decisions. So,
sorry, Cecil.
So when you get caught in that,
I don't know if it's your microphone, but some are, I don't know. It's like in and out sometimes.
How's that?
That's better.
So when you get yourself caught in that situation, right? Then you have to take responsibility for what you did. Mm-hmm. Right? And you can't blame anybody. It's hard, right? But it's the lesson you learn because you accepted what society told you to do. So now it's a beautiful opportunity for you to turn around and do what you want.
Okay. Now that we're on LinkedIn, there are a lot of professionals, business and career working professionals. So how about that person, maybe they're in their late 20s, late 30s, I guess it doesn't really matter, and they're in a career, maybe they're making 6 or whatever, 7 figures, or they're doing very well in their business, but then they still feel unfulfilled, like maybe they should go to another job, or maybe they should transition and go back to school, or maybe the entrepreneur needs to sell more products. So how do we help those people who are, everything on the outside seems to be okay, but in their career or business, but they're still feeling like something is missing?
Well, what's interesting, are they going to admit that they have a problem?
But some people won't look at it as a problem. Like, what about the people who, yeah.
We all dress up doll, right? And we do know that something is wrong. Mm-hmm. But what happens in this case, and I'm going to use myself as an example, when I was making the money, I was attached to making money.
Yeah.
I was not interested in relationship or family. And that's true. Mm-hmm. Now, most people don't admit to that. Right? So when I divorced and bankruptcy, to bring it to my attention. So that's how it has to happen to stop.
Right.
But if you make enough kind of money, you ain't going to stop.
Yeah. That's true. I agree. Because it's really that, I guess it's the ego. We talk about the ego a lot. It's the feeling of your neighbors know you're doing well, and you're driving a nice car, you live in a nice home, and you're taking vacation, and you're in your mind, you think, oh, I'm better off than the average person or what the news says. So there's that complacency sometimes that people fall into where they don't get the help that they need. They don't get a career coach. They don't speak to somebody like yourself because, hey, their board committee knows they're doing well. Their family, based on their culture, they're doing well. So I think the average person just usually doesn't go down the route of, let me see if I can fulfill this. And they do what a lot of people do. They take to alcohol or going to casino and etc. So that is a good point.
That's because of the ego.
The ego, yes.
The ego, what people don't understand is, the ego helps you get what you want.
Right.
Whatever you want, the ego presents all kinds of reasons why you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
The ego doesn't care whether it's good or not. That's where you have to have your awareness.
Right.
To different.
Mm-hmm. And so one of the points that we had added to is any clarity exercises that people can get. Let's say maybe they are speaking to a therapist or they're about to speak to a coach, but before that time, and they're in this really sunken place of unhappiness to some degree. What can they easily do in the moment to get back on track?
Well, you need to be present.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Okay, you're walking. Example. So when you lift up your left foot, you breathe in. When you put it down, you breathe out. You lift up your right foot. And as you put it down, you end the breath. So let's go over that again. Lift the left foot. Hold it. And when you put it down, you've exhaled. Lift the right foot. Hold it. And when you put it down, you exhale the breath. That's all you have to do. Because we got to be very simple. And easy and practical. So that wherever you are, you have no excuses. So that's what I call confidence. And when you do that, because you're focusing on lifting the foot and running the foot, no thoughts can come in. And when there are no thoughts, you have clarity. It's that simple. The problem is that we're looking for things that are complicated. And most times you don't have things that are simple and practical. Thirdly, if we're given a simple technique like this, the challenge is in the next 3 hours you're going to forget. Because this is something new. And I would say you have to marinate it. Spend some time practicing it to break the old habit. I've been helping years with this exercise. They have a problem, I restrict it. But what happens is, if I meet them later on about what I taught, the only way you can do it is to find someone to teach you. It takes about 6 weeks minimum to break the habit. So it becomes a part of you. There's no shortcut.
Great. Anybody on the line, if you have any questions, let us know. We have a few minutes left. And with the last point, is there anything that you can help people with in these days and times where it seems very uncertain and the news and there's lots of forecasts of the unknown and they're even talking about another pandemic coming? Any enlightenment or inspiration you can share?
Yes. Stop watching the news. Stop paying attention to social media. Here's the point I'm making. Social media and the news is external.
Mm-hmm.
When I started, I said you have to listen. You don't listen on the outside. You have to be inside. You have to be listen. Now, this is not easy, but that's the answer. The news has an editor. The editor decides what we hear. So are you prepared to listen to what other people are telling you? Or you prefer to go inside and listen to your soul, to your consciousness, to your God, to the universe? That's the question.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today, Cecil. If anyone has any questions or feedback for Cecil in this invitation for this event, I have tagged him, so just click on his LinkedIn page and check him out. Also, if you have any questions after this live stream or anybody watching the replay, leave a comment below. And if you want to be anonymous, meaning you don't really want to leave a comment, you just have personal questions to ask Cecil, please connect with him. And Cecil and I will be doing this every weekend, more specifically every Sunday. So if you have any ideas for upcoming topics, just let us know. Thank you so much for your time today, Cecil.
It's my pleasure.
Thanks,
Makita.
Thank you.